Hello, and welcome to Cadence Design Systems Fidelity Tutorial Tuesday, where we show you how to use a feature or demonstrate a technique in just a few minutes. In this example, we're going to demonstrate how to recolor or rescale images that were created during your Fidelity CharLES CFD run. Now, the first method is using the CharLES Connect app. I have the Connect app open here, and if I go over to this icon, this picture icon, and mouse over, you see that it says Browse Images. I'm going to click on that to bring up a file browser, and I'm going to scroll down to the image that I want to open, and I'll hit Select. And once it brings the image in, you'll notice immediately that in the upper right hand corner there's a lot of information about the image. Besides the name, it also gives you the variables on the surface and on the ISO surface and the range. So it gives you some information on what's actually in this image. What I'm going to use here is I'm going to use ping. I'm going to go to color map. And what you'll notice first off is this data type, surface. So right now, whatever changes I make, it's going to be changed on the scalar that is on the surface. If I use the drop down here, you'll see that I also have the ISO, so I can make changes to the ISO surface separately. So let's start with surface. At default, there's no color map. Let me choose a color map. I'll choose the blue, red, rainbow. And then you'll see that I have a range. This is the global range that's available in the image. If I click on Rescale, I get the bars here that show the min-max. And there's sliders. I can grab those and I can adjust what the min and max look like. If I need to reset, I can click on the little world icon here to reset to the global range. But once I'm done with this, if I scroll down a little bit, you can see I have the option to invert that color map if I want the range to go in the opposite direction. I also have the ability to show a legend. And if I click on that, I'll close this, you can see the legend that is added to the upper left-hand corner. Again, like I said, for this image, where I have two different data types, now I can go to the ISO surface. Again, no color map by default. Let's try like hot metal. I will, again, if I click on the rescale, I get the sliders, and again, I can adjust those however I want. I can also add that legend if I choose, just like on the surface data. Once you're done, we can close out of the ping portion, and I can go to export, and I'll just export this view. Now the other option is to use the ping executable from the command line. Once you've used the Connect app and you've determined your color map and ranges that you'd like to see on your images, it's much easier to use the command line, especially when you're dealing with hundreds or even thousands of images, to do all that recoloring or rescaling in a batch type mode. Now, just like when we use Surfer or Stitch or even CharLES, we're going to start with the CharLES launch shell script. Now we're going to follow that this time using the ping executable, so ping.exe. We're going to follow that with the -- images keyword, followed by a list of images that we want to operate on, and you can see we could use wildcards. We'll follow that with the -- recolor space color map and the color map we want to use, in this example grayscale. There's multiple color maps that are available that you can choose from, and once you've issued this command, all of the new images are going to be placed in a directory called images_recolored. Here's an example of a grayscale image. We're going to change it to hot metal. We can change it to cool warm, blue red rainbow, and finally rainbow desaturated. Now we can also use a similar method to rescale images. Again, I'm going to start with the charleslaunch.shell script. I'm going to use the ping.exe executable just like before. And just like before, I'm going to give it the -- images keyword, followed by a list of images. Again, we to use wildcards to specify that list. And now I'm going to use the -- rescale option. And if I leave it with no arguments, it's going to rescale all the images to the global min-max. And I can also give it arguments, in this case a range, in this example 0 to 50, and it would rescale all those images to that range. That's complete. All those images are placed in the subdirectory images_rescaled. If you like this video, please click the thumbs up button or subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. If you have any questions, comments, or suggestions, drop us a line down below or connect with us via LinkedIn, which is linked in the description. Thank you all and have a pleasant Tuesday.